Flyers. Flyers are everywhere. On a college campus like Indiana University, it is impossible to go anywhere without passing these paper advertisements. They're taped to walls and windows, stapled to bulletin boards, and handed out on street corners. Flyers are an easy way to spread information about a cause or event, advertise a product, or offer deals to large quantities of people. Because flyers are so widely used around campus, we wanted to know how the targets of these flyers, the IU students, felt about them. We interviewed 3 students to get their opinions on flyers and their effectiveness.
My name is Gonzo. I'm a microbiology major, and I'm a sophomore in college.
I'm John Belt. I'm a freshman here at IU.
Well, my name is Kyle Trandall. I am a triple major in the Kelley School of Business, majoring in finance, entrepreneurship and corporate innovation, and legal studies. This is my second semester on campus, but I'm technically a sophomore with my credits. And let's get to it, Connor.
Thank you, Kyle. How polite. What are your opinions on flyers? Do you like them?
Yeah, and throw them away. I usually take the flyers and throw them away immediately.
No, I don't. Never.
Never. Why not?
I don't like flyers. They're a waste of paper.
Generally, when I take a flyer, I'll give it a quick read through. If it's something that actually resonates within me, which not many of them do, to be honest, then I'll probably keep it in either my pocket or my backpack. But the majority of them get thrown in the trash can at the next one I see. When I'm offered flyers on campus, generally I'd say they're on Woodburn Hall. It just seems to be such a hub of activity. You have the Union around there. There's always people coming from St. Valentine. So there's a lot of activity. It's like the center of campus almost. And I just feel that's where always I'm bombarded, whether it's in the Union when kids are on strike or whether it's by the Hyper. And conveniently, they're always right by trash cans, so I can just take them and ditch them. So that's pretty nice. I don't know if they do that on purpose, but...
Okay, so maybe you don't like them, but at least they're effective, right?
I think they can be if they're not being passed out. When I am offered flyers, I usually don't care. I usually just look at them and throw them away.
No, they're an annoying advertising method. They do that sometimes have the opposite effect.
Do coupon books count as flyers?
Those are coupons.
Those are oh, I have taken a Pizza X flyer and then ordered some sweet pizzas from them.
Oh. The Pizza X flyers.
From the Pizza X flyers?
Yes, I like their flyers.
Why the Pizza X flyers?
Because I like Pizza X food.
Do they, I mean, are they just informational flyers or do they have deals on them?
They usually have deals on them, like the little 500 deal.
Right.
When I'm offered the flyers, generally I make a decision based on the way the person handing the flyer out is presenting themselves. For example, today I was walking to class, I had my headphones on, I was just doing my thing, you know, minding my own business, and some guy gets in front of me, blocks my movement so I have to walk around him, and in doing so starts just asking me if I want to take his flyer. Well, if you're going to be that rude about it, no, I really do not want to take your flyer. But there's been other times I've seen girls handing out flyers and everyone just walks past them, just, you know, nope, I'm busy, and I'm like, okay, I feel bad for them, so I'll generally take the flyer.
Do you typically take flyers from girls more than guys?
Well, probably yes.
I pay attention to the flyers posted around campus maybe once or twice a week. It's not very effective on me.
I'll check out a flyer board maybe once a week.
Generally, how often I pay attention to flyer boards is slim to none. Generally, I just feel that there's really not anything too important on there. There's probably, 50, 100 flyers just stapled on there. You can see thousands of staple imprints. I mean, generally the messages on there aren't that great to begin with anyway, so I'm numb to them, I would say. I feel that if there was possibly a better way, I don't know what that way would be, but to get their message out there in a clean way, then I feel more students would be prone to looking at it, especially if it's at bus stops. You walk in front of Wells on a busy day, there's probably 500, 600 kids just blocking my sidewalk, waiting for the bus. So there's a lot of potential viewers of these flyers, but there's so many of them, a lot of them don't look that professionally done, and then I feel that just makes everyone kind of turn a blind eye to them.
If you guys don't like the flyers, then why even take them?
I really can't say no to flyers.
I did not take the flyer.
I just can't say no. I usually take flyers because I'm put on the spotlight and I don't want to make the other person feel bad.
I think that's a good question. Generally when I take flyers, I can't exactly see what the cause is before. Like I know, for example, when I was taking my accounting midterm, I was offered a flyer for, there's something about like pigs in a, I don't even know, pigs in a sty, or like when they grow pigs to kill them, they just showed the little piggies all crammed together. I took one look at that. It almost made me want to throw up, so I just threw it away. But, yeah.
From what we've just heard, flyers do not seem to be the most popular advertising method amongst students. They potentially invade student privacy, don't generate enough intrigue in those who see them, and often they are not presented in a way that suggests real importance. After hearing this review of flyers from the students, we were curious to speak with a business using flyers to see why it thinks flyers are a successful advertising technique. We spoke to a representative from Street King, an energy shot company that advertises its product on campus. We asked her about her working relationship with flyers.
My name is Sarah Blair, and I'm a senior at Indiana University. I work for Street King Energy Shots. The company I'm hired through is Youth Marketing Connections. Basically, Youth Marketing Connections is a company that is hired out through other companies to help market and promote their products on big university campuses. And I personally work for Street King Energy Shots, which are 6-hour energy shots. So,
tell us a little bit about your job. How do you advertise your product?
Sure. We hand out promotional flyers on the Indiana University campus, along with a technique they call guerrilla sampling, which is handing out the actual physical samples to students on campus. They also use a lot of other variety of techniques by handing out promotional items that have their logo all over it, and also they do a lot of social media marketing as well. My boss actually sends me all the promotional information and samples, so we basically get those out, and each week we have a certain amount that we're supposed to pass out to the students, and we just do that, and as we run out, they send us more. I'd say we're required to pass out about 200 flyers a week if possible. So,
why does your company use flyers to advertise?
I know my bosses in general like the idea of a tangible object getting into the hands of the consumer. Well, the reason that they usually take it is because they get the idea of having an energy shot with it as well. They also give us what they like to call swag, but it's keychains, lanyards, posters with 50 Cent's face on them, and then that allows them to get the product out there and the brand. They're all about getting the brand awareness on campus. So a lot of times they wouldn't just take a flyer as much, but we like to hand the product with the flyer so that they take both, essentially.
What do you think happens to the flyers after you pass them out?
Yeah, a lot of them we pass out around campus. Guerrilla sampling is finding the random hottest spot on campus and just kind of attacking it. I'm sure a lot of them go in the trash can, to be honestly. I would assume some go on the ground.
Do you see some on the ground when you're actually passing them out? Do you see a lot?
I see like the aftermath of them sometimes. I know a lot of times I pass them out in Greek chapters and Greek parties, and they would kind of like be looked at saying, oh, this is cool, and then they'd be on the floor as brush. At the end of the night, you just kind of see them. And I feel like that's kind of what all the expectations are for them, just to get the name out, and then they don't really care about what happens after them. So,
but maybe the company should care about where their flyers end up. Some of our students feel that flyers on the ground cast a bad image on the product.
If an organization has a message, or it's trying to reach a select group of students, but they're giving the flyers just to everyone in a mass marketing type of strategy, almost like a guerrilla marketing thing, then it's really showing that, hey, this message doesn't resonate with most students. And if I've learned one thing at college, is that no one really wants to stand out as the weird kid, because everyone's really seeming to blend together. But you can do things to distinguish yourself in a negative light, I feel. And if you see all of your friends and all the cool kids, taking the flyers and just throwing them on the ground, then they're probably going to be less inclined to even give them a chance, because everyone else seems to be doing the judging for them already.
But what does he know? Maybe the flyers are working. You tell us, Sarah. How do you gauge your advertising success?
My bosses see success through mostly social media. So as we hand out flyers, they want you to like the page. That's a big market right now, is liking the social media page as well. I can't see any success directly, but I do notice an increase in likes, but that's also through me promoting that and telling the students as I'm passing out the flyers and the samples.
Wait a minute. You read them the flyer while you're handing it out? It seems like the flyer isn't even necessary. Why can't you just do that with the swag? To businesses, flyers are not for attracting students to their product, they're for spreading the word about their product. Flyers are an introduction to a product, not a hook to pull people in. That's what samples are for. Dan Imhoff, a writer-researcher who studied packaging waste, would relate flyers to a cardboard cereal or toothpaste box. They don't do anything for a product except make it more recognizable from the rest. Flyers are essentially a paper reminder that a product exists. As a result, advertisers want everyone, interested or not, to get flyers. Throwing their advertising nets out wide, they try to make as many people as possible realize their product exists. As you can imagine, a technique like this will fall on many deaf ears, and that is where waste comes from. After flyers have been hung on walls or tossed aside, it is the responsibility of the IU custodial staff to clean them up. We wanted to understand the disposal issues surrounding paper advertisements on the IU campus, so we arranged an interview with 2 team leaders in Ballantyne Hall and heard what they had to say regarding advertising with flyers.
Well, my name is Judy Davis, and I'm a group leader for Ballantyne, Chemistry, MSB, and Beck Chapel.
My name's Scott Forbes, group leader for the same area.
Hey Judy and Scott, would you mind telling us how frequently you find flyers in school buildings?
It's regularly. We find flyers until the end of the school year, and then right at the end of the school year you'll see the flyers for taking the test. And then you'll find flyers for openings, for like at the art center. That's what we were taking down yesterday. You find flyers for outside of here, bands that might be playing at nightclubs. You find flyers for every reason.
We did a couple of days ago. Somebody went through here with stacks of flyers, little pink flyers, and it looked like they just threw handfuls of them into the rooms. In the auditoriums, they'll go through the auditoriums and stick them in the fronts of all the seats. And then when the kids come in for their lectures, they pull them all out, look at them, and drop them on the floor.
The strike was really bad. We were taking down hundreds of flyers of those.
Are there policies for advertising with flyers in the buildings?
Oh, yes.
What are they?
There are specific bulletin boards that these things can be hung on. Anywhere else, it's up to us to take them down. And that includes peeling the tape off the glass and the walls. During the strike, they got to the point where it was quicker to come through the building with a can of spray adhesive, put it on the wall, stick a piece of paper to it. It took hours and hours to get that adhesive off the walls.
Are you kidding me? Won't that ruin the building?
And this is every day, and it's peeling our paint off the walls, so then they have to repaint. So that's costing the students money. That the students don't realize they have this strike going on, and they don't realize that if they want to lower their costs, that they need to do their share by not damaging our signs. They put them on the Ballantyne area,
The building signs.
The building
on the
signs.
road.
And then they have to be repainted. And this is supposed to be their college. Do you destroy your home? I guess some of them do.
At least all these flyers provide you with job security, right? If you didn't have to clean up after everyone else, you'd probably spend your night sleeping in the lounge.
Doing it because they're giving people jobs is a very poor excuse. There's plenty to do. If they think that they're giving somebody a job by doing this, they need to come in here and spend a couple of nights on a routine and see just how much there is to do before they decide they need to give us more work.
Well, that's an intense glare, Scott. Where does the litter you clean up go?
It goes into the trash or the recycle. Did you see the size of the dumpster that we have out here?
Mm-hmm.
There's two of them. There's a very large red dumpster and a recycle dumpster. It's about half that size. They're both filled every night.
But you do recycle the stuff you find on the ground?
Yeah.
You can?
74, 63.
Way to lead by example, Scott! Do you have any last inspirational words for our viewers?
Went back to school when I was 45 years old, and out there the instructor was responsible for the classroom.
6374.
But when you went into the class, you were told you can have chips, you can have pop, whatever, but when you leave, you're going to take it with you. You were expected to conduct yourself like an adult.
6374.
Leaving home and going to college is part of becoming an adult. You stood up, you pushed your chair back into the table, you cleaned up your mess, and you left. If you didn't, you lost a letter grade. The instructor was responsible for the classroom. Around here, the only people that are responsible for them, us.
Yeah, I can read over psychology real quick. I'm here with real.
It doesn't upset anybody, you know, it's part of what they do.
Clearly, many people advertising with flyers do not think past getting their message out. By ignoring the rules about paper advertisements, advertisers cost the university countless amounts of time, money, and effort to clean up the after effects. They destroy school property by irresponsibly posting their flyers. By spamming the campus in large quantities, they also contribute to the enormous amounts of paper consumed on a daily basis on campus. There has to be a better alternative to flyers for spreading messages. Fortunately for us, everyone we interviewed suggested the same solution.
I think social media marketing is the future. I think it's way cheaper than paper flyers. I think it's definitely more successful because it's a constant reminder that people can't just like essentially throw away or so that they'll never see again, like flyers.
Commercials and TV. Commercials in video games would be pretty good too.
Okay, alright.
Like in the middle of a LOL match.
Oh, there's internet advertising, television advertising, billboards. I find those to be more effective.
But everybody's got an interest. Everybody wants to draw attention to their cause or their interest. They've got to have an outlet for it somewhere.
It's called Facebook.
Yeah.
For me personally, I believe there are better advertising mechanisms out there. And I'd say social media is a great tool that, if used well, can be very effective. I mean, I can't think of any students really that don't have at least a Facebook or a Twitter page. So you can get the word out on those. You can make groups. And then the great thing when you're doing something like that, you can send your message out just to a group of people. So say you had a group of people that were interested in a certain religion or in a certain sport. Well, you don't have to send out a flyer that says, "Hey, everybody." You can just target it directly to them. You know what they already like. You know what they don't like. And it makes it so the message really resonates with them. And likewise, on Twitter, you can just put out a nice, lighthearted message. People can retweet it, share it with their friends. They do all the hard work for you.
As the internet becomes more and more popular in today's culture, the need for paper advertising will die out. Electronic advertising through social media provides benefits for both companies and consumers. Through social media, unique advertisements can be created to target individuals using literally no paper, ink, or staples. Consumers gain control over which advertisements they see, while companies gain access to larger markets in a cheaper, less time-consuming method than flyers.
Anything dirty or dingy or dusty, anything ragged or rotten or rusty,